Ooh, what's going on, y'all boys? We back up in this bitch. Stop playing with me, yeah. Okay, hold on, just real quick. So I'm talking about the Ravens, right? This shit's gonna come out on Thursday. You might not see this till after the Thursday game. I want to clarify. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so I have not seen the Thursday night game. So if anything that I say in this video, I don't know what it may be, is disproven in that game, just cut me some slack because I ain't see the game yet, bro. I don't got telepath. I can't see the field. But we are not talking about that game. We're not talking about our record. We're not talking about last game. Nah. Listen, now in the past, I have been one that is not advocated for doing this move and thinking that we don't need it, right? But I think that we need to trade for a receiver. I think that we need to trade for a receiver. Cut the baloney, cut the bullshit. Baltimore, that's a lot of B's. But guess what? I'm gonna be a bitch about it all. Big Baltimore got bread but won't buy no body. I'ma just slap all the cards on the motherfucking table right now, alright? Because it's really straightforward, alright? The reason why in previous years I have not advocated towards going out to spend money on a receiver, right? I think it's not a bad idea, but you don't want to give somebody like a fat contract, right? It's because of our personnel and what we're able to do and what we should want to do. Our goal should be to not just run the ball, but play power football. Like, we should really just be able to power teams. Like, I said it in my week 7 takeaways this past week. When you look at the Browns game, Lamar threw the ball 16 times. We ran for like 170 yards, which isn't even like crazy, but like that's exactly how I want to win football games. So when you look at a deal, like I'll give a real-time deal example, the Hollywood Brown trade to get the first round pick to get Linderbaum, it's bittersweet because of who we traded, and I'll get into why, like exactly why why it sucks we traded Hollywood a little bit later on. But getting Linderbaum is a terrific move, and it's a big reason why our O-line is so damn good this season. And our O-line is the best thing, in my opinion, we have going for us this year, because we're running the football again, but they've really been terrific. And like the numbers may not say otherwise, but watch the game. They're tremendous. It's easily the best thing we have going for us. But this is different, right? For a number of reasons. Okay, I'm gonna start with Hollywood Brown. The reason that we miss Hollywood Brown, first of all, let's just throw this out right now. As good as our rushing offense looked, and as much as I say, oh, that's how I want to win games, we are not going to win every game like that. Okay, we have a good line, but teams are going to sell out for the run. Okay, and the reason why Lamar only threw for 120 yards and 16 times last game is because he has no chemistry with anybody on the outside. And of course Mark Andrews exists, but it is so much easier to take a tight end out of the game than a wide receiver on the outside. Or what you have to do is a lot more detrimental to your defensive scheme when there's some crazy wide receiver that you have to double every possession. It throws everything off. Mandrews or any tight end, you can have an easier job taken out of the game so long as there's no other threats on the field. And we got a nice taste of what happens when Mandrews gets completely taken out of a game last week, because he was not a factor really at all. They took him out of the game, and that's what'll happen. And what we miss from Hollywood isn't necessarily what he brought in terms of raw ability. Like, Hollywood is an upper echelon receiver in terms of like the greater receiver pool. He's not a tier 1 receiver. He might not even be a tier 2 receiver. But if Hollywood Brown is your wide receiver 2, you're doing wonderful. If he's your wide receiver 1, you're probably not doing terrific, but you can, like, he's very capable of being said person. The quarterback to receiver connection is a two-man thing. It takes two to tango. Chemistry is the most important thing that goes into that, and I feel like if you ask all the great quarterbacks, they'll give you that answer. Not that I've spoken to them, but trust me. And if there's one thing that Hollywood Brown had with Lamar, instead of aside from Butterfingers sometimes, is chemistry. That man had chemistry, and he was also a deep threat. And Bateman is basically the new Hollywood, except they don't have chemistry yet. Bateman has shown he can be a deep threat. He's better underneath. He's dropped some very questionable passes this year, but he gets open. He's the one extremely capable receiver on this team. Devin Duvernay has made big plays this year, but he's not a really terrific receiver. He's a guy, I love his tenacity, his grit. Like, he's a guy you want out there as a 3 or a slot, any kind of slot guy whatsoever. But he's not a guy that's going to be a 2 nor a 1. Chemistry. It's very important. And for that reason, I do think, since, like I said, Bateman is really just like another Hollywood Brown to me. He's the new Hollywood Brown. He's a very capable receiver. He can get open. He's just not going to deliver on every play. He's not going to be open on every play. And yeah, you might be able to get away with him as your wide receiver 1, but you would much rather prefer him to be a wide receiver 2. And so the reason I do think it'll get better is because him and Lamar don't have any chemistry yet. They haven't played enough games together. Which Lamar and Hollywood, they kind of got lucky playing a mid Dolphins defense in a tank year in week 1 for Miami. In 2019, like the year Hollywood got drafted, and they were able to just get their chemistry up right then and there in that game 1, just get it out the way. And Lamar and Bateman have hooked up, but not like, when you look at the targets Hollywood was getting, Bateman's not getting that many targets in a game. So like, because they will continue to play with each other as the season goes, and teams just look different at the end of the season. Everyone hits their stride. Everything looks different everywhere. And I know this team, well, I don't know if it'll be better or worse. I hope it's better, but the team will look different by week 17, week 18, whatever the hell is going on with these expanded games and whatnot. But every other year, because of this Bateman situation, I would say don't make a trade for a wide receiver. Okay, Deshaun Jackson, is not going to be an impactful player, but not a horrible signing to get another veteran guy that might be able to come in and make some plays for us here and there, right? Maybe go try and get a defensive player, but save your cap is what I would normally say. However, we have the dreaded Lamar contract situation, okay? And this is just what I see, all right? I'm not trying to think about the offseason too much until, obviously the season's over, especially because you'll understand after what I'm about to say. But look, here's the bottom line, all right? Every time Lamar plays better, his stock goes up, right? And we're talking like we might be at a minimum of $200 million guaranteed. If we pay Lamar $200 million guaranteed, that might be a good situation for us, which is crazy because $200 million guaranteed is a ridiculous amount of money. And if you ask me, I don't know. In terms of value, he doesn't deserve $200 million guaranteed, but in terms of accomplishment, he does. MVP and the career record. Obviously, he hasn't won anything in the playoffs, but like, it's a ridiculously how many people have won a ring. Like, answer that question. And in terms of Lamar, he's a hell of a player, but not the highest paid quarterback in the league type of player. Okay, so yes, if he plays better, like he started off the season very terrific, right? If he plays like that, his stock's gonna go up, and we're gonna have to end up paying this dude $250+ million guaranteed, and we're not gonna be able to build a damn team around him, right? And that's one end. And on the other end, if shit looks like that it has the last few weeks with the way the passing offense is looked, as much as some of it's on Lamar, a lot of it is just on the lack of personnel on that outside, right? And he's not gonna want to be here, because let me rephrase that, because even if a lot of it is on Lamar, regardless, right, of whether he knows it, whether he doesn't, he's gonna look at the situation and say, we are not I've been here for 5 years. We haven't figured out how to pass the ball, regardless of whether it's my fault or it's Greg Roman's fault or Harbaugh or the wide receiver, whatever. We haven't been able to. It's not working, right? So he's going to see that and be like, my potential isn't being maximized. I'm going to go somewhere else, because maybe he's not being coached right. Maybe he goes to a different organization and he receives better quarterback coaching and becomes a more improved passer, right? Maybe it's on him completely. Maybe he's just not picking it up. He's not learning, right? And that's on him, regardless of what it is, right? Here's the deal. You have to be in a Super Bowl or bust mentality. We probably won't get it done this year, right? It's a talented league, but the bottom line is you have to be thinking that way given this contract situation, okay? Regardless of whether or not Lamar deserves his money or not, and whether or not he re-signs here, we fucked up not paying him, right? We have to own up to that. And now we've hold ourselves in a situation where it's like, it's kind of, in a way, after this year, it's some kind of lose-lose, right? And so the bottom line is the offensive line is as good as it's been since 2019, right? The year we went 14-2, okay? The defense is more than capable, okay? It's not terrific, right? It's not going to play solid throughout the whole game, right? But fuck the numbers. We have the personnel is there, and you should trust it to where if your offense plays up to par, they'll make enough plays to win you the game, right? They're good for a turnover, and I mean they'll get at least 1 or 2 big third down stops. I promise you, especially early in the game to help you get ahead. You have a great running back pool and Mark Andrews, right? And a good special teams staff, good punter, good kicker, of course, right? Justin Tucker's in his prime. There's just one thing. There's one thing on the roster that's not there aside from a pass rush, right? We don't really have a pass rush, but there's personnel on the defense. Defensively, you can make up for lacking something with other things. Offensively, I think it's a little bit more difficult to do so. I guess it just depends on what it is. And if we're talking about a wide receiver, it's hard to make up for not having one of those on the outside. And look, here's the bottom line, okay? You can say this and, this about Lamar won't get better with it, whatever. We have not seen what Lamar will look like with a true wide receiver 1. That is the bottom line, okay? And it might benefit him contractually, right? But guess what? Winning benefits both of us, okay? And that's how we're going to know whether or not this guy's worth the $250 million, is if we give him a wide receiver 1 and see what he does with it, okay? So, I mean, Jerry Jeudy is there. But I think you got to go get DJ Moore. I genuinely do. And it's going to cost you a fucking stack, right? But it's worth it, right? Say goodbye to your first round pick next year. But that's fine. If you ask me, that is A-okay. Because like I said, this is a Super Bowl or a bust mentality. And yes, we have to think about the future, right? But look, if we sign DJ Moore, right, and don't win a Super Bowl, and let's say it benefits Lamar, but we end up not giving him the money he wants, and he's like, oh, I'm out, I would be devastated, okay? It's hard for me to think about these ifs, right? Because I just want to think Lamar's a Raven for life, and I'm going to remain optimistic and say he will be. But let's just say this happens, right? You still have Mark Andrews and now a receiver in his prime to go in a good defense and a great offensive line and a good running game to go get another player who, if you insert somebody into that offense, first of all, you got Snoop, you got Tyler Huntley, who is shown to, be the perfect backup for what we have, right? So if we have to go with Snoop, we will. But if you go get somebody else, Malik Willis, Justin Fields, one of those guys, or if you even just go get a normal pocket passing quarterback that's out there and completely revamp the offense, you can do that because you have a good roster. But the worst thing that's going to happen is that DJ Moore is going to revolutionize Lamar's play, because that's what wide receiver ones do. And we're just never going to know how good he can be until he up and leaves for a team with a true wide receiver 1 on it, right? Because there just hasn't been one since he's been here. That's the bottom line. Like I said, Mandrews is a different scenario with a tight end, right? And imagine if Mandrews wasn't here. There would be no Lamar Jackson, my dog. But the best thing it's going to do, like I said, is revolutionize his play, okay? And his stock might go up, right? Super Bowl or not, his stock might go up, but it might make him want to stay here if he sees me and DJ Moore got it going on, right? And let's just clear the air here. We should have drafted DJ Moore in the first place, okay? We really could have had one of the greatest draft classes of all time. Already stacked. We got Lamar, Mark Andrews, Orlando Brown, and so on in that one draft class. We could have took DJ Moore. We took Hayden Hurst in the first round at 27. We traded back, bro. We could have had DJ Moore. We took Hayden Hurst and then traded for another first round pick for Lamar. Bro, we were that close to just a stat. We wouldn't be having this conversation. Lamar would have his extension right now if we drafted DJ Moore. Mark my words. But yeah, man, like I said, it's really just time to start bullshitting, because we're never gonna know. We're never gonna know what player Lamar can be with his skill set right now, where he's at right now. If he's we're not gonna know if he's worth the money, and then we're gonna be finding ourselves guessing, right, on whether or not, okay, do we actually pay this nigga or what? So that's we just go do it. And not to mention, if shit works out with DJ Moore, then yeah, we might actually be a Super Bowl contender for once. Yeah, we might actually win in the playoffs. And just to simply put it into the X's and O's, as far as schematically in our offense, A true possession wide receiver, one possession deep threat, whatever, potato, what, doesn't matter. You're gonna get one-on-one. You are going to get one-on-one, okay? And now we're talking about our offense, right? And this is why I wanted Hollywood Brown to that. Hollywood Brown, Bateman across from each other. We wouldn't be having this discussion. It'd be peachy, right? It'd all be going well. But DJ Moore with Bateman and Duvernay in the slot, that's a receiving core. DeMarcus Robinson, Deshaun, like, yeah. And guess what? Because guess what? We're going to get DJ Moore, and we probably still going to just keep running the ball as long as we have to. But now the option is there, right? Oh, you're going to step up. How you going to cover Mark Andrews and DJ Moore and Bateman? You're not. That's the answer. And if we don't get DJ Moore, then guess what? Judy. One of the two. And if we don't get Judy, you better call up Salah and convince him to trade Elijah Moore. One of these two or three. God damn it. This shit was way longer than I was expecting it to be, or I wanted it to be, but it's all good. And like I said, I haven't seen the Thursday night game yet. It's Wednesday when I'm recording this, so maybe everything I say goes out the window after this game, but probably not. I'm getting the feeling that it's only gonna be what's it called? Fucking damn words, bro. Shit. My prediction is that if I were to make this video after the Thursday night game, that I would be saying the exact same shit I was saying in this video, only louder and more aggressive and more angry and more desperate, and maybe some tears in there. Oh yeah, and yesterday on my Victor Wembanyama versus Scoot Henderson video, I said which is old. I said that there was another old ass video I'm finna be posting, so that's gonna be delayed because I had this idea, and I'm also gonna probably post a fantasy video, so it might not come out till Saturday, it might come out Friday, I don't know, but it's not related to anything sports at all, really. Well, it is, but you'll see. You'll see. And with that being said, I leave with a message for the Ravens GM Eric DeCosta. Trade for DJ Moore. Trade for DJ Moore. Trade for DJ Moore. Trade for DJ Moore. Trade for DJ Moore.